Hi, NPC nursing students. My name is Betsy Ann Wilson. I'm the Executive Director of NPC Friends and Family, which is the college's nonprofit foundation. And I'm here to talk to you today about scholarships. If you are a first-year nursing student, congratulations on your acceptance into the program. If you're a second-year student, congratulations on making it through the first year. I know that the associate degree in nursing program is one of the most challenging yet rewarding things you will ever do in your lives leading up to your nursing careers. And I also know it's expensive. NPC Friends and Family has over $34,000 in scholarships for the upcoming academic year, and there is no reason you should not be applying for them. What I want to talk to you today about is writing a basic 500-word personal scholarship essay, the kind that's required for each of the scholarships that we have available. And this is to give you the best opportunity that you possibly can to be considered for scholarship award. There are a lot of scholarships available. Please consider applying for as many as you possibly can. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to talk about writing a basic 500-word scholarship essay and what it takes to sort of give your essay a winning edge so that you are awarded with a scholarship. So the most important thing to consider is who selects the scholarship awardees. And it's important to know this because when you went through your prerequisites to get into nursing, you had to take English. So you know it's important to consider your audience. Well, who the heck is your audience? The important thing to know about this is they're a group of people that in all likelihood you are never going to meet or see them. So how do you make a good first impression that puts them on your side from the very first paragraph? The best way to do this is to tell a story about yourself. Do not start your essay by saying, my name is Mary Smith and I'm going to get my associate degree in nursing from Northland Pioneer College. Don't do that because that's how every scholarship essay begins and it's boring. Tell a story about yourself that engages you and helps you make a personal connection with this group of people who's considering your scholarship application, this group of people that you're in all likelihood never going to meet. So how do you do that? Talk about what made you decide to become a nurse or what made you decide to enter healthcare professions. Let your personal story come through this and explain to them more than what your name is, who you are. Let your personality come through. The idea behind this is to get them on your side right from the first paragraph, these people that you're never going to meet. So now that you've done that, in the second paragraph, talk about your education and don't just say, I'm going to get my associate degree in nursing from NPC. Talk about it in detail. How many credits have you completed? How many do you have to go? What semester will you graduate? What degree will you have when you graduate? And if you're going on past NPC, let's say that you're going to do the Bachelor of Science in Nursing, what university are you going to go to? What's your terminal degree? Where are you going to end up? Are you going to be a certified nurse practitioner? Are you going to be a nurse anesthetist? Are you going to be an OBGYN nurse? This is where you talk about the education that's going to help you get there. It's important that you be explicit and detailed about your educational journey, because if you don't, the Scholarship Review Committee can have a seed of doubt that maybe, even though you sound like a great person, like when you introduce yourself in that first paragraph and really won them over, you really don't know where you're going. You don't know what you're getting into. If you explain your educational journey in detail, they know that you know where you're going, and that makes you more likely to finish what you started. So the third paragraph is where you have to convince them that you are a resourceful person and that you not only have the hope of winning the scholarship, but you have other means of paying for your education. If the Scholarship Review Committee thinks that you're relying on their $500 or $1,000 or $2,000 scholarship to get through nursing school, they're going to disregard you right there because they're going to think, there's no way they're going to finish if this is all that they have. So talk about all the things that you can bring to bear that make you a resourceful person. Do you work part-time or full-time? Where do you work? Do you have savings? Is your family helping you? Do you have other scholarships? Do you receive financial aid? It's perfectly okay to talk about these things. They want to know that you have some means to complete your education because they have a limited amount of money to award. It takes a lot of work to raise money and a lot of really dedicated, devoted people who donate to scholarships. So they're looking for a couple of students who are really a good investment in what they've worked so hard to gather. So what makes you that good investment? So in addition to what you have to pay for your education, do you do community service? Do you volunteer? Have you won awards? Have you been members of maybe Phi Theta Kappa or student government? This is where you talk about all the things that make you a good investment. So now they know who you are because you've explained yourself in your first paragraph in your story, and they feel a connection to you. They know that you know where you're going because you've explained your education in detail. And they know that you have some resources to help you get there. So in the fourth paragraph, this is where you sum it all up and tell them why you need that scholarship. And it's perfectly okay. You need to include this information or they're going to really think that you don't really need it that much. So use the scholarship and the amount by name. You don't have to rewrite this essay for every scholarship you apply for, but you do have to personalize it per the scholarship name and amount. So for example, say, if I am awarded the Press Winslow Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $1,000, I will use it to defray the costs of childcare that are not covered by my financial aid award. Or I will use it for my scrubs and supplies that are not covered by the other savings that I have. Something like that. One a really legitimate request from students for scholarships at NPC is gas money. Think about, especially if you're a second year student, think about how far you're traveling when you leave your home and then you go to class and then you go to lab and then you go to your practicum, to your clinicals. That adds up to a lot. So if you figure that the government rate for travel is 44.5 cents a mile, if you were going to be reimbursed by the government rate, think about how much money you spend just getting to classes. And it's a perfectly legitimate thing to ask for to say that you're going to use your scholarship in part or all for gas money. But don't leave it unsaid. Tell why you are going to use this, how you're going to use the scholarship if you're awarded. And then finally sum it all up by saying, thank you. Thank you for considering me for the scholarship opportunity. So now you have 4 paragraphs, 500-word scholarship. You introduced yourself with a personal story that made a personal connection with that scholarship review committee. You described your educational path in detail so they know you know where you're going. You talked about all the resources that you bring to bear, all the skin in the game that you have to get through the nursing program. And then you told them, here's how their scholarship will help you if you're awarded. And you thanked them. Now, here's a few tips to make your scholarship application process successful. First of all, if you're required letters of recommendation, ask for them right away. Do not wait because your recommenders want to have time to be able to help you. But if you request it the day before the scholarship is due, they're not going to be able to help you. It's a good idea if you've already crafted your essay to give it to your recommenders so that they can reinforce what you said in the essay in their letters of recommendation. And you're going to send the letters of recommendation. They are going to send the letters of recommendation directly to me, and we'll talk about that a little further. Follow the application instructions to the letter. If another scholarship that you're applying for requests an essay on a particular topic, stick to that topic. What I just described to you was what's called a personal essay. And that's what a lot of scholarships require. But let's say you're applying for a scholarship that says, why is it important to maintain a healthy weight? Or why is it important to not smoke or something like that? Stick to that topic. Be sure you do not miss the deadline. The deadline for NPC Friends and Family Scholarships is Thursday, April 15th at noon Mountain Standard Time. They are electronic submissions to my email. I do not accept late applications for any reason. Why? Because you're being told now that the scholarships are due on April 15th, so there's no reason to wait until April 15th to send them. A good rule of thumb is if you know the due date, back it up a week. So say, I know the scholarships are due on April 15th, so I'm going to submit mine on April 8th. That's my deadline date. And then send it then so that it's not late. Submit it exactly as directed. Ours are required to be sent as a single PDF document. That means do not send it as multiple Word attachments. Do not send it as multiple PDF attachments. Send all the required materials as a single PDF document. If you need help doing that, you can contact me and I'll explain how to do it. Do not ever exceed the word count on an essay because it gives the scholarship review committee a reason to dismiss your application. And read all the application eligibility carefully, the eligibility criteria carefully. Don't apply for scholarships you don't qualify for. Okay, when you write your essay, let yourself come through. Don't be afraid to show your personality, because this is the only opportunity in all likelihood that you're ever going to have to connect with the Scholarship Review Committee, this group of people you're never going to meet. Build on your accomplishments. Don't just say, like in that third paragraph, I was a member of Phi Theta Kappa. Say, when I was a member of Phi Theta Kappa, we had a coat drive that brought in 50 coats for the needy people in our communities. So build on your accomplishments, don't just state them. Okay, this is a huge one, and I see more scholarships lost to this than almost any other reason. Do not tell a sob story. You guys know what a sob story is. It's meant to elicit sympathy. And I guarantee you, if you tell a sob story, and I've heard some doozies, people will feel sorry for you. They will not award you a scholarship. Why? Because somebody who's telling a sob story is talking from the standpoint of pity or victimhood. And a victim is not a resourceful person. This does not mean that bad things do not happen to us, and it doesn't mean you shouldn't talk about them. One of the most powerful essays I have ever seen came from a nursing student who explained how caring for her mother through a catastrophic illness and seeing the great care with which the medical staff treated her mother inspired her to become a nurse. A lot of nursing students' essays start this way. They themselves or some loved one went through a catastrophic illness or injury or even passed away. And the students were so inspired by the medical people who were part of that, that they now want to enter the medical profession. It's totally okay to talk about things like that. That's not a sob story. That's a story of empowerment. That's a story of what motivated you and where you're going. So that elevates you beyond that sad place to a place of hope. And that's very motivating for a scholarship review committee to read. So no sob stories. Okay, you all know that you need to edit paper for mechanics. You all went through English. That was part of your nursing prerequisites. So you know that you have to check out punctuation, spelling errors, grammar. You can't have anything like that in your essay. It's got to be perfect as far as mechanics. There's another great way to use editors. Ask a few trusted friends or family members to read your essay for content, and then say to them, after you read this essay, would you award me the scholarship? Why or why not? And then listen to what they have to say, because they can help you with the tone of the essay. If you sound a little bit too inflated, they might pull your horns in a little, or they might remind you of something else that you should have said about yourself that will help strengthen your case. So have, after you've made your essay as clean as possible, have some trusted friends and family members read it for content and then listen to their feedback. I'm not going to go into this in any detail. If you didn't do it, don't say you did. And if you did do it, don't say you didn't. Okay, and so this concludes my presentation on how to prepare a scholarship essay. And I want to invite you to ask me any questions that you think of. You can reach me at Betsy, BETSY .Wilson, WILSON, at npc.edu, or at my office number at 928-536-6245. I will be happy to help you edit your scholarship essay. If you want to send it to me as a Word document at that email, I'll be happy to look at it for you. Just please send it within 2 or 3 weeks of the scholarship deadline. Don't send it right before it's due, because I won't be able to help you. If you have any questions at all about the scholarship application process or about what you need to do, don't hesitate to reach out. I will be happy to help you. By now, you should have received a link from Dean Zimmerman about how to find the NPC Friends and Family Scholarship webpage, and where you can look at all the scholarships that we have available. It gives you specific instructions on how to apply and where to apply, and you will even find the outline for this presentation I just gave you, how to put together a scholarship essay. So best of luck to all of you as you pursue your nursing educations. I am really proud of you and happy to be here to help you find a scholarship or more to help you get through your nursing program. Thanks again, and good luck to you.